Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Today, I figured we could go through a bucket list book because it's the new year. And I know that a lot of us are planning maybe travel near us, or some people are just looking for new things to do and have a little bit of extra money to spend, or some people are just looking for new things. So this is like a bucket list for me. This isn't like at first I thought it was going to be like resolutions for me to be like, let's go to these places, but I don't think I can go to most of these places. They aren't really nearby normally, but maybe there will be some. This book is organized by hemisphere, and to be honest, I'll probably just kind of skip through the different ones that I don't really find eye-catching. But if there's anything that catches your eye or that you've done before, I would love to hear about it. I love hearing about people's little travels and their adventures that they've done. So, I want to start by lighting this candle. I think that lighting a candle often presents a new energy. If it'll light, if it'll light, if it'll light, if it'll light, if it'll light. Only one side is lighting. Give me one moment. Let's see. There, and there we go. I love this candle. It says pumpkin bourbon. It's almost exactly what like you imagine Thanksgiving to smell like in movies. So I wanted to start with that, just to give us like that little bit of energy in the corner. Corner. Okay. So she'll live there. I have already read up to chapter 2, so we're gonna go back and look through them again and see if there's anything that I think is fun. Again, this is separated by hemisphere. Oh, cute. I didn't even notice that these are separated by, like, what do you call that? What you're aiming for, I guess. So, if you can't read it, which you might not be able to, it says wildlife encounter, magnificent nature, wonders of the world, epic journey, life-affirming adventure, learn a new skill, micro-adventure, cultural discoveries, and feast for the senses. So I didn't even realize that they were organized like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That makes so much more sense why things are colored differently. Oh my god. Howl at the moon in the company of wolves. That sounds so fun. The wolves at Norway's Polar Park are socialized with humans, which means you can get up close and personal with them, play with them, cuddle them, even spend the night howling beneath the moon with them. That's so cool. Oh, that is sad, but search for the world's last polar bears, which is such a crazy thing to attempt, because polar bears are the only animal in the world that are known to hunt humans. Not like there are animals that will attack humans for safety and survival, or will attack them and then give up on them when they can't find them. Polar bears are like the only animal in the world that is known to smell human and go look for it. So that one's a little crazy for me, but whalebone Stonehenge, that's cool. Europe's ancient woodland. I wanted to do this one for a while. It's in Bergen, Norway. You're supposed to do it in December. I like that it has the latitude and the longitude listed as well. Not that it helps me, because I'm not good with geography, but create a Christmas tree decoration. There's no time like Christmas for inventing traditions and filling a Norwegian heart-shaped basket with sweets. Oh, and filling a Norwegian heart-shaped basket with sweets is a fine tradition for any family to create. Learn how to make your own basket. They are traditionally made of woven red and green paper, but with creation, improvisation is key. I wanted to do that one for so long. I learned about that tradition when I was a kid, and I've wanted to do it ever since because that just seems so fun. Puffins fish. In Geilo, Norway, you can step back in time for a white Christmas. I will say the font in this book is a little strange. I don't know why, but it feels like every couple of sentences it'll kind of switch over to a new thing. Everybody should see snow at Christmas time at least once. Take the scenic Bergen railway line from Oslo to the picturesque mountain village of Geilo in Norway. Traditional festive celebrations, horse sleigh rides, and plenty of glögg, which is mulled wine, and cheer will make this a Christmas to remember. Just this image, I'm not going to read this whole thing because that's very long, and it's all for one thing. But just looking at this image, I would love to go and see that at some point in my life. Like, that is just a beautiful image that, like, is nothing like where I'm from. Bathe in the magic of the Northern Lights in Finland. I have wanted to do this. I mean, who doesn't want to go see the Northern Lights? Especially because the Northern Lights are normally in cold places. So I've always, like, I love cold, so I always want to go. So pretty. Watch Earth move in Finland. That does sound fun, but it does, I feel like it would give me an existential crisis to see, like, how small we are, and to see it, like, moving. It would feel, like, way real, you know? Run with a herd of reindeer. That's fun. I hate coughing. It's the worst. Dip your toes in every ocean on the planet. That is really cool. That's in Greenland. Isn't Greenland freezing? Oh, I see. It is freezing. Greenland is freezing cold. That sounds fun, but that feels like an ice bath to me. So cool. Sometimes when I'm looking at books like this, I think of, like, all the different lives that people live around me, you know? And how everybody has grown up different. Whether you grew up in the same place or not, you grew up differently than the last person next to you, you know? And sometimes I think of stuff like this because I grew up in a very touristy area, and I'm like, what if these is like a touristy thing or something that people get to do constantly, you know? Sleep in a tree in Sweden. That's so fun. Oh my god. Meet the best dressed policeman in Canada. Oh my god, they have Stetsons. So here's the thing. That's really cool. You can't really see it because it's off screen. But I do not live near Canada, and I saw a police officer for a parade on a horse in blue with a Stetson on, and I was like, what? Because they were nowhere near the parade. They were just, like, walking around to give the horse, like, some time to move before the parade started, and they were, like, next to, like, a dead mall, and I was so confused because I worked at that dead mall and nothing ever happened there, and I just look out the window and I see a police officer and a Stetson and on a horse, and I was Yukon River does sound so fun. Like, that sounds like such a fun experience, and I don't know, I would have to research what the wildlife under the water is like in the Yukon, because when you canoe in Florida, you kind of have to worry about gators all the time, whether you're going to hit a gator or whether you're going to be over a gator. It is a constant fear because of how many there are, which is a warning to all of you coming to travel to Florida. There is nowhere without gators. Gators, this is their home. There will be gators. And we're already back to where I left off. Okay. Ooh, that looks cool. St. Petersburg, Russia. That always sounds like a fun place to go, but I'm always like, that's so far, and it's such a different, like, area than I've ever been in, you know? You can go to Estonia and adopt another way of life for a year. The traditional gap year trip traveling across the world is perennially popular, but sometimes to truly see life different, it's better to spend a year in one foreign place and get to know it well. Living in the medieval old town of Tallinn, capital of the Baltic state of Estonia, is an uplifting way to change your perspective. This historic district is compact enough to walk across, architecturally distinguished, quietly quirky, and delightfully laid back. Some sites should be on every traveler's itinerary. St. Nicholas's Church is home to Bert Notke's spooky Dance Macabre. The Museum of Occupations gives a harrowing sight into the country's tragic, complex history, while the square around the Gothic town hall is lined with good restaurants and hosts a charming Christmas market. Quiet, reserved, and polite Estonians are easygoing people to live among, and when they do let their hair down, the vibe can be fascinating. That sounds fun. My boyfriend and I were actually just talking about this because I would love to live somewhere else for a year, but it's so hard to like push yourself that hard and to be like, I'm going to go live in a different country and not see my family for a year. Like, that's so insane to me. I mean, it's insane, but I am thinking about it, so like, who knows? I'll write a song for somebody in Sweden. That's fun. That is terrifying. I absolutely will not dare to stare into the abyss. That is so terrifying. Oh my god. Ghost hunted a haunted castle. Built as a medieval castle, then later used as a prison and place of execution. The history of Arkesh's fortress is long and bloody and perfect for tales that go bump in the night. Regularly rated and list of world's most haunted. Come prepared to see more than just the great views from the rampart of the popular tourist spot. That sounds so fun. I love the idea of ghost hunting, but I never want to go to like abandoned places, you know? Actually, this also looks fun. It says discover Scotland's Gaelic culture. I would love to learn in like a bunch of museums about Gaelic culture. What do you mean one of the world's best roads? Oh, that's so cool, actually. Wow. Leap off a cable car naked. Insane. That's so crazy. Anyways. Eat great foods where they taste the best in Scotland. That's fun. Back of Monroe. What is Monroe? where it feels quite like the top of the world, as the Scottish Highlands, and any mountain higher than 3,000 feet is a Munro. Okay, I get it. That makes more sense. I'm not good at, like, the idea of climbing a mountain is so scary. Like, just because my asthma is so terrible, I would immediately be so afraid. But I mean, that is so cool. What are these? I don't even know what these are. They're just red deer. Cute. Again, hiking is just so. I think I would have to be so much more in shape than I am now because my asthma is just way too bad to go right now. I didn't know this was a church. I really just thought this was a building in Moscow. Wow. Gaze upon Moscow's postcard perfect church. Looking like something conjured up in a Disney studio, Ivan the Terrible's riot as 16th century St. Basil's Cathedral is the very image of Russia in popular imagination. You'll find it standing at the southern end of Moscow's Red Square. It is impossible to miss. That seems cool. Go Gothic in Dracula country. In the decades since it was established, Whitby's Goth weekends have grown into lively alternative music events that attract hundreds of the weird and wonderful to this northeastern English coastal town. Join them in the place that's featured in Bram Stoker's Stark novel. That sounds fun. Goth music seems like it would be a fun thing to visit in England. Explore the Hill of Crosses. The Hill of Crosses is home to an estimated 100,000 crucifixes, as well as effigies, rosaries, and statues of the Virgin Mary that tinkle in the wind. Visit this enigmatic site, and you'll be reminded of the deeply Catholic locals here. You'll be reminded of how the deeply Catholic locals here defied the Soviets throughout their recent occupation. That is in Lithuania. Again, walk around an entire country is so. That seems wild. They have snail racing in the UK. That's so cool. Be transfixed by a spirit bear in Canada. Spirit bears are a subspecies of black bears that have white or creamy fur. It gives them a magical allure, and it's no surprise that British Columbia has made it its official mammal. Look for the bears in the Great Bear Rainforest in this Canadian state where they are predominantly found. Hold on. Let me move the candle out of the way. That's the bear they're talking about. That is so cool. Going to Trinity College's library is like a bucket list thing for me. Like, I've been wanting to go to it for a while. It's just so gorgeous, and it's massive. I can't imagine the amount of books that are in there right now. again, terrifying. That's so tall. That is a rock climbing wall in the Netherlands. Goodness gracious. So cool. I want to see like a big mountain, which feels like not a bucket list thing, but I want to see a big mountain. I want to see snow. Without limits on the Autobahn. How many accidents happen on the Autobahn per year? Also, is the Autobahn, does anybody use the Autobahn as like their method of getting to work, or is it always infested with tourists? Or is it both? This one says get naked in the middle of a busy city, but I'm bringing it up because it says whenever it's warm enough. That's so funny. Stare at the girl with the pearl earring. Submit to the wide-eyed allure of the Mona Lisa of the North at, I can't say that word, Mauritshuis Museum. Just who was the girl and why was she wearing a blue turban and the eponymous is probably right, and a probably large pearl earring. I have earrings of the girl with the pearl earring because I love that painting. It's so gorgeous. I do want to cross the London Bridge. That seems, it's so strange because it'll be obviously like a 1 minute thing, maybe. I mean, probably 5, depending on how big London Bridge is. But it seems like it's so necessary as like a thing that you do before you die. One of the captions on one of those said that London is one of the most visited cities in the world. So I wonder what actually is the most visited city in the world. This looks so pretty. Stroll through the Tunnel of Love. Deep in the woods of Ukraine lies a perfect green tunnel formed by trees growing alongside and meeting above a rail track. This is nature's response when a train passes along a route just 3 times a day, and the rest of the time the trees grow undisturbed. The result is something quite magical. Take a stroll through this enchanting passageway which has captured the hearts of romantics everywhere and led to the tunnel being known locally as the Tunnel of Love. I can't imagine how many people have taken like wedding photos there. How many memories have been made there? It's one of the things that I think about when looking at all. Hey, that's the cover. I think maybe kind of looks like it. This is gorgeous. I do like consistently wonder how many memories have been made at these historical places, you know. Ooh, this looks cute. I mean, cute. It looks fun. I've noticed recently that I use words that make sense to me and that sound right to me, but in context, when I say it to somebody else, else, and it absolutely does not sound the way that I'm feeling. Like when I say, oh my god, that's so cute, to me that means, oh my god. Like sometimes I just say things and I don't remember like the actual definition of the word, and not that I don't remember it, but the way that I use it on like a daily basis is so much different than what its actual like defined context. So sometimes I phrase things wrong, and I think that's okay because I'm just a little guy. But this is very cool. What do you mean, Grace? See, this is another thing. Complete a triathlon. It's a